everybody. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. So why the live video again? Well, I've been busy, work, other things. I've been awfully tired as well, but that is coming from me being up between 2 and 3 in the morning every day. It's an instant wake up. I set my alarm for around 6 o'clock, 6:45 in the morning. Never fails. I'm up between 2 and 3. And that is because the non-physical is waking me up. So I did have some pretty good, another good spiritual experience through my manifestation and through my meditations. I was, manifesting a new life, right? Creating, because we're God's, right? So it was right around the end of March, around Easter, this event took place. Hi there. Good day to you as well. I hope you are blessed and having a beautiful day. Love you very much. Thank you for showing up. So I've had some new information come, and I've had this spiritual experience take place. Like I said, it was just before Easter, so a couple weeks ago, basically. So I have been meditating quite a bit. Every morning, like I said, I am up at between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. every day. The non-physical is waking me up. And I set my alarm for 6 o'clock. I don't have to be to work till 8, but they have me up. But anyways, as I've been meditating quite hard, sometimes this meditation is just a quiet mind, where I'm just up between 2 and 3 a.m. every day. I'll sit on the same couch, same place, and I will just sit there, arms, out, crisscross applesauce, and I'll sit there and I'll just be quiet. And things will come in like love. I am constantly in the process of staying in love and redefining love. But I'll redefine love in a minute. So the spiritual experience that happened to me, this one was out in public again. So I was in the aisle for, what do you want to call it? Like olive oil, right? So I'm about 20 feet or so, about a quarter of the way down this aisle, right? So as I'm sitting here like this, and I'm trying to find the exact olive oil I want, out of this corner of my eye, I mean, like right here, I see somebody walk through the shelves. I see it out of the corner of my eye, and I turn and look, and I hear, "Hey, would you be interested in a Bible study?" And I laughed, and it was a young guy. Now let me back up. When I came into the store, there was a young lady, and there was like a 2-year-old crying in the cart. Didn't pay any. I just noticed them, but it was weird that I noticed them instead of walking right by. I had a really good look at them. So now I'm in the olive oil aisle, right? And I'm always thinking about my NDE things that I want to say. So I'm hunched over like this, and I hear this young kid come up, and like I said, I saw him walk right through the groceries. So as I turn over, and I'm like, "How the hell did you get there so fast?" Because in the moment, you're kind of stupefied. They want to kind of dumb it up, the situation. So they glitched the matrix, basically. They isolated me in the grocery store. Now, standing in front of me, okay, or a little off to my right, was that same child and woman, okay? Now, this time, they had no expression on. They're just standing there like this. The little girl was sitting in the grocery cart, not saying anything, no longer crying, but just like this. No movement, no breathing. And the woman that was standing there, same thing, just looking, didn't move. So now he walks in front of me, and he's asking me about this Bible study. Do I want to study, and I'm like, listen, no, the Bible's wrong, okay? I love your enthusiasm, but he's like, well, the second coming of Christ. I said, Christ isn't coming again. Do you understand that? That none of this is real. So I went on my spiel. I said, God isn't coming. Christ isn't coming. There's no reason. And I went in through the explanations of the Bible and how it's wrong and all of this. And I said, you know, young man, I said, no. I said, I hope you have a blessed holiday. I love you to death, but no, I am not interested in your Bible study at all. Okay? And he shook my hand, and again, his hand was ice cold. Ice cold? Why? There's nothing living in it. Okay? When we're in our carcasses here, right? We are keeping it alive, where it's warm, all that. When an angel or somebody manifests from the non-physical, there's nothing in there. Okay, it's just an empty thing, and there's no blood, so his hand was cold, clammy, kind of, in a way, right? So when I got home, I was like, what the hell was that all about? And then I realized that through my manifestations, through my meditation, through my finding myself and asking the non-physical and telling them what I'm going through, what I'm asking of them, they're making sure that I am ready for what's about to happen. Are you sure you're going to go through with this? And that's what that episode in the grocery store was, ladies and gentlemen. I am manifesting something. I'm creating my new life, right? So now they're coming to me and they're making sure that this is what I'm doing. When I said, am I interested in the Bible? When I said it from day one, the Bible is wrong. It's completely wrong. And not only does the non-physical not care about the Bible, I'm going to make sure that when I go out there and talk to all of you and so on and so forth, that this is what I'm going to do. And that was their way of making sure that I'm on and I'm doing what I want to do, what I'm manifesting, because it's coming true. The world is changing in front of me. So that experience was them answering my manifestations on this couch. Are you sure that's what you're going to go through? And it's yes. So that was the spiritual event that's happening. And it's, you know, you may not get an answer right away, but you're led in the direction that your manifestations are going. And right around Easter, that was their way of confirming, are you sure? And I'm like, yes. I am absolutely positively sure the Bible is wrong. I want no part of it except to free all of you from the confines of the victimization that you all went through and the, you know, ideology of our society, which also conforms you and keeps you into low frequency and low vibration. Our society does that, and so does the church. And that is what I'm going to go after. Okay, we cannot do this to our children. We cannot allow ourselves to do this anymore. And this is the new information I was given, ladies and gentlemen. So I need you to heed this. I need you to listen very carefully. And then we can go into some questions that you might want. There she is. There's my girl. Shalom, my friend. Hi, honey. Hi, Steph. All right. So this was the new information I was given. One, it's a non-negotiable. You did, girl. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Well done. The new world is coming. All right? It's coming. It's going to be non-stoppable. The movement that we're going through right now, this transition into 5D, the new world is coming. And to all of you who's a Gen Xer like myself, or that's on this earth right now, or most of us, we cannot be here. All right? It's coming within 60 years. All right? World War III is coming. Okay, we have to stop this. We can stop it, but it's going to take a concerted effort on all of you who watch this video. It's a plea from me. We cannot allow our children and our grandchildren to be slaughtered. We can't. And that's what's going to happen, all right? The world will be at war for 7 years, a brutal war. A non-nuclear war, but millions upon millions are going to die. Horrible deaths. And I'm trying to stop that, all right? We cannot keep going the way we're doing. We need to live in love, all right? So I'm going to redefine love like I did in one of my earlier videos. Love, ladies and gentlemen, is everything. Everything. All your cures to your cancer, we can change it, and that's what I'm saying. We have to live in love, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. Love is everything. It is what we are created out of. You all are under the illusion that this is who you are. That is not who you are. It is a slap in the face to Father. It is a direct insult, these bodies that we have created, to God. It is an ultimate form of I'm an individual. Okay? We further complicate that individuality by male, female. That further, divides and reaffirms our individuality, right? What did you say, hon? Let's see. I can't see it. Sin will deal with me later. Sin doesn't exist. But again, that's all of those who, believe in the Bible, believe in that. I don't. I was shown that, given that, the knowledge that was there. Sin doesn't exist. But if you want to put a meaning to sin, it's simply a lack of love. So if you are in love and you're feeling love, you're in line with your guidance system. If you are mad, if you are angry, if you are upset, you are out of alignment with your guidance system. Sin does not exist. No, it does not. Death does not exist. This world does not exist. This body is simply a hologram. It doesn't exist. To all of you who like to swim, girls on the beach, when you're walking into the water, you dive under the water, you come up, you clear your face, you feel the sun. None of that is real. Never have you ever in your existence ever dove or walked in water. It's an illusion, all right? It's simply an illusion. So getting back to what I was saying, World War III is coming, okay? We have to stop it through love. Second of all, the non-physical does not want us working, period. We are not to work because it goes against what we came here to do, which was to have fun and follow our dreams, follow our guidance system. That's what we are in. It's a hologram. Everything is a dream, ladies and gentlemen. Like when you guys have a dream and you wake up and you're like, holy shit, that was a wild dream. Well, guess what? When we wake up, we say the same thing. Holy Christ, that was nuts. Do you have any advice for meditating? I'm starting to try it, but you are going to find it very difficult, hon. All right? Because the ego knows what you're trying to do. The ego knows you're trying to find your true self, your unaltered soul, which is right here, about the size of a basketball. Any thoughts on Twitter? Is there any negative such sites? Is there any spiritual purposes they serve? No, it's just people following their ego. Remember, when you start to judge, or you start falling into judge, or you are, that is what it is, judging. When they're putting that out there, they're judging. And that is the ego. Remember, the ego yes. When you sleep every night, I don't care if you're in the middle of the day, you're home on a Saturday, and you're just wiped out and you fall asleep on the couch, right? You leave. We never sleep, we never eat, we never make love, we never drink, we never do anything. We simply exist as a frequency, as consciousness, okay? This isn't real. The apartment that I'm in isn't real. The world outside isn't real. Nothing is. The celestial event, guys, that you just watched on TV, the solar eclipse, right? That's us dreaming. You watched us in person, right? Our dream come true. You watched the whole solar eclipse. That's us dreaming. We are creating that. So let's get back to what I was talking about, the new info. So we are in a dream, right? So the new world is coming, but things are going to happen. Things are going to go nuts. 2024, 2025 is our advancement in consciousness. In about 60 years, how do you think we can make sure, clarify light? Hold on, guys. I got to get up and see these. I'm sorry, guys. How do you think we can make... Well, let's put it this way. And I think a lot of you get, it's going to go back into the egg theory a little bit here, right? So when I incarnate next, and I also have this very in tune feeling that I will not incarnate much, maybe less than 10 times, around 10 more times is the number I'm coming up with and feeling. So let's think. So right now it's 2024. Most of us think when we incarnate again, it might be 100 years or a couple hundred years in the future, right? That's not the case. My next incarnation may be in 5000 BC. It may be in the year 4 BC, okay? And why am I incarnating back there? I still have some things to clean up. Right? It's not necessarily finishing your job because you moved on from that, you accomplished your mission, but you have to go back and heal wounds in that life. So when I'm born again into that life, or you have to go back and fix those traumatic wounds, right? You finished your life, you moved on into where you are now, but my last incarnation could have been, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, fixing things. And now I'm in this life, I have an NDE. Now I've raised my vibration significantly, like I'm way up there, okay? And in that next life, I'm going to be carrying that same vibration into that, what you might call a past life. Well, now I'm going to go back into that life and I am going to heal those broken wounds, right? And start closing that off. And when I do that, my frequency keeps rising. So when Jesus was called to do this last job, he was at the top. All right, he went back and cleaned up all his crap in his previous life. So when he was in another dimension, Father said, I need you for this. Why? He was the best one for the choice at that time, right? So he got chosen for that difficult job. And from the time he was born, he was having direct communication. Like I'm talking to you and you're hearing me. He was having communication from the non-physical. Well, right now we're going to be incarnating here on Earth because the Earth is transitioning. So while we are raising that vibration of love in those past lives, right? It is creating the future. Right? So as we're raising our vibration and living in love, we are still creating the future of the new earth. So I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, I'll try and come up with something else. But make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, when our next incarnation comes, it's not going to be like 50 years, Earth years. Well, that when we signed a contract, that contract is going to be upheld until you are done, like Jesus, okay? When he reached Christ consciousness, when he achieved what he achieved, there is no more, okay? There is no more. He completed what he needed to do. And even though he was still married to Mary, he did not want to be here anymore, even around his own children. He had no use of the body or no use of the physical world anymore, did not want to be intimate. So when he moved his family to the south of France after his crucifixion, Mary lived a peaceful life with the children, and he stayed there for about 8 months before he truly went home and has not been back. And Mary incarnated several more times before she reached enlightenment. So that is our goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to achieve enlightenment. All our chakras line up, and that is through, Jesus accomplished everything through love. He cured people. He helped people. He could see them. He healed them through love. Love cures everything, ladies and gentlemen, because love is everything. It is who we are. We're created out of our Father's love. But isn't it impossible to achieve that because there was... No. When I told you about that, you are no different than Jesus. That is the indoctrination that the Catholic Church or the church gave you, right? They knew who Jesus was. They saw it. They saw the writings. They saw his teachings. They saw it all. So what did they do? They wrote him out of the Bible, and they safely kicked him upstairs in a monarchy where, heaven isn't a dictatorship. Yeah, I mean, not a democracy, right? Everybody goes home, which is true because we're still home. All right? So the Bible was meant to keep the church in power. That is it. The church has no power. Jesus was not a Christian. The Christians took over the writing of the Hebrew text while Jesus was still alive. And they still didn't come up with it until well after his death. And the year 382 was when they finally decided on the books of the New Testament. 382. Now, Jesus died in 33 AD? 34, somewhere in there? I forgot. But somewhere around there. So we're talking 300 years after his death. You can't change a contract. I'm doing it right now as we speak. I'm no longer going to be a warehouse worker. I am going to be what I'm manifesting, and those things are coming true. So yes, you can change your contract, but it comes with work. What most people don't understand, you can't just say, well, I want this. Well, that's great. Well, you have to be specific. You've got to show the non-physical that you're serious. Cancel and create, correct? Cancel and create. Everything you want is right here. You have two minds, ladies and gentlemen. You have your physical mind, which this body is, and then you have your spiritual self, your spiritual mind. And that is always in alignment with your guidance system, your IGS, right? When you're in love and when you're in tune or in line with that, you feel love, you feel bliss, you feel happy, you feel jovial. When you're upset and crying and this, that, and the other thing, you are out of alignment with your guidance system. Your emotions, your feelings are yourself talking to you. Let's see. Implement the knowledge from my mundane world life. Start out my day with a prayer, some meditation. All right, I'll tell you exactly what I do, guys. Like I said, raise your frequency. That is what you got to do. And to raise your frequency, you have to get rid of the ego. So you cannot judge, you cannot condemn, and you cannot attack. But what you have to do is love unconditionally. Now, you don't have to do this because this is free will. It's all up to you. They're not going to come down here and say, you need to love. It's not going to happen. You are love. So I choose to live in love 24/7, 7 days a week. Okay? I choose. If I feel negative thoughts coming in, I tell the ego to fuck off. And it's squashed. So when I'm tired or upset, then I choose to love that situation even more. Your salvation, your what's causing you pain and grief is your salvation. You have to look at that. That's it. Love in every situation. Every situation that Jesus was in, he loved. Up to and including his death, because he had mastered the body, he had mastered the mind, he had mastered love. He became a master. So to him, the body was nothing. He created another one. He watched the whole event from home. And then when his actual body was dead, he came and saw the disciples. It was a simple act of showing the disciples that, look, I'm not a body, and neither are you. This is who we are. But, when he was dead and gone, they ran into the only thing they knew, which was fear. Ran back to the ego mind, right? The ego consciousness. And they dropped what he was teaching and fell back into the teachings of the religion at the time. And that was that. So we are creators. We are the universe. We are everything that has ever lived in anything and everything that has or will live. We are that. We are everything, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said in the beginning when I started, I get up every morning. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock. Don't have to be to work till 8. The non-physical has me up between 2 and 3 a.m. every morning. I wake up, boom. I look over and it's anywhere between 2 and 3 a.m. All right? I get up, I take a shower, I come out here in the dark, and I sit down on this sofa and I meditate. How can you deal with the destruction? Well, who are those destructive, toxic people? They're you. Remember that. There are 8 billion versions of me on this earth right now. So those toxic people are you. So how do you deal with yourself? Now, if you were to run up to those toxic people and start yelling and screaming at them, calling them, god-awful names, what have you just done? Because you were yelling at yourself, right? So now you've just climbed back down the ladder 4 or 5 steps, lowered your frequency, and then you're going to go home and you're going to feel bad about it. Now you're going to know, because you're going to listen to those feelings, I feel bad. Well, step out of that. Why am I feeling bad? Oh, I called that guy and that guy was you. So how do you deal with that? So how do I deal with it? I just look at them as myself and I just say, hey, I forgive you. I love you and I forgive you. Best of luck in your journey and on your path. But they're going to change. The new world is coming. This will no longer be allowed. And that's what I mean by us not being here when that happens. We cannot be here. We will not be here. We will all have transitioned home. And it's coming very quickly. All right? So we have to live in love. So how do I deal with those toxic people? They're me. When I look at them, say, well, I'm just having a bad day. I love you. God bless. So we got half an hour. Now the time is for you guys. Ask questions. Let's see what you got. Video topics as well. If you want video topics, because I've been struggling a little bit because I've been getting all this new information and stuff like that. So what have you guys got for me? I'd love to hear what you got. So, till a question comes up. So, non-physical doesn't want us working. They do not like the 40-hour work week in any way, shape, or form. It is insane. We are God. That is 100% correct. 100%. We are the direct manifestations of our Father. Right now, He is living 8 billion vicarious lives. Maybe a video on what could happen to the world if we do not reach collective enlightenment. The world is going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. There is no end of days. There is no judgment. And I've told you this from day one in my NDE. There is no judgment. The non-physical knows that we have been indoctrinated into a society that has and will continue to keep us in a low vibrational state. The church has done that too, through their interpretation of, or what they wanted to create in the Bible to keep themselves in power. What's in that book has nothing to do with Jesus except for one major point. When Jesus said, is it not written in your law, I said you are gods, when they were going to stone him for saying, I and the Father are one. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I and the Father are one. I am one with my Father. I am God. And so are you. So now we need to wake up to that, and we need to live in love, and we need to love, and we need to forgive. So let's redefine love a little more. No different than when I died, I left my body. When, he had control over his body, he had mastered his body. So when his execution came, he simply walked out of his body. He is a God as well, yes. He's no different than you. He just reached enlightenment 2,000 years ago. That's all. All of us are going to reach enlightenment when we are done. As we climb those ladders and we get up to where he was, we are eventually going to, reach our last incarnation. And then we will go through what Jesus went through. Right? We will have direct communication from the time we were born with the non-physical, with your supervisors, with your guides. And they will, guide you on your last incarnation. And that is exactly what happened with Yeshua. He was guided from his birth. Is it kind of unfair? He had guidance from day one. We do not. I mean, we do, but he had communication like I'm communicating with you. How many people that have ever lived? Well, in this world, we've only had one, right? That we know of, right? Which was 2 millennia ago. I can't speak for my last incarnation Because maybe in that timeline or where I was, other people have, reached enlightenment. We are all going to reach enlightenment. All right? We all are. And when that moment comes, we will never incarnate in a physical realm again. We don't need to. We have surpassed that. We have accomplished our contract. And then we simply stay home and we help others. Well, understand this. You cannot put a number on home that you call heaven, right? There are trillions and trillions and trillions of souls right now that want to come here. And Father is saying, no. It's not impossible. We're all there. In this last 2 months, I have risen quite high in my frequency. I have also moved into a different realm here in this very apartment about a month ago. I heard it happen. It's happening. You are being guided and nurtured from the non-physical. None of you have ever or ever will be in any trouble. I can't read that any of you. It is entirely possible, because I would have to say yes, because he's there at home. So, religion doesn't play any part in the non-physical. Jesus doesn't consider himself a Jew or a Christian or anything. He's simply, a high being, a high consciousness. He's up there. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, above Jesus are higher beings of much more knowledge. All right? So Jesus is, he's up there. And if we call on him, he comes. It doesn't matter whether we're in this body or we're at home. He will come and he will guide. Yeah. And the best thing I can tell each and every one of you, to be honest with you, as I have done, throw that thing in the garbage or donate it to somebody who wants it. I and the non-physical don't want any of it. Advice for taking or getting a message from your spirit guides. Well, you have to meet that frequency. When I changed frequencies that day, because I was sitting here, I had got done meditating, and I was in a really good place. I was warm, I was full of love. And then I kind of got sassy, so to speak. I said, I'm done with this. There's nothing here that I need to learn anymore. I've learned it. I don't need it anymore. Okay? I need to be where I'm manifesting. Okay? I need that. I heard a loud bang in the kitchen. Now, I've lived in this apartment by myself for the last 8 years. No one's been in here. All right? And then all of a sudden I hear this in the kitchen. I look over there, and then all of a sudden I hear this like a vacuum sound, and all of a sudden it went like that, and I'm like, the hell was that? And then all of a sudden my lips started tingling. They went numb, like I'm biting my lips. Hell doesn't exist. So that was my whole body tingled, my face was numb, and I'm like, what? I got a little dizzy. It was just a frequency change. I went from I climbed up. So hell doesn't exist. Hell is a state of mind. So when Jesus talked about going to hell, Jesus talked about truly entering his mind and killing the ego. So when Jesus talked about wandering the desert for 3 weeks, doing battle with who? The devil. Devil doesn't exist. So what happened when Jesus became enlightened, when John plunged him under the water and he came up, he was enlightened. He had that moment of oneness, everything aligned, all the chakras, direct shot home. The ego is not your friend. So anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So as he wandered offshore into the woods and in the trees, he was jerking wildly, like having spasms. Like if you ever, had a body twitch and your fingers twitching, right? Well, he knew if people saw him, they would think he's possessed and they would come to kill him. They would come to stone him to death, right? So he went off and hid. So while he was hiding and having these these jerking reactions, he started to do battle. Who was he battling? The ego, right? So some of you, if you want to call the ego the devil, because the devil attacks, judges, and condemns, right? That's the ego. The ego does not want you to love or live in love because it means his death. So Jesus began to kill the ego, okay? That's who he was battling when in the book, you know, because in the Bible, he says he's battling the devil as he's wandering. There you go. Jesus was exactly the same. He's no different than any of us. He was at a much, much higher level of frequency. Karma has nothing to do with coming back here. Karma is simply the act of doing. Right now, this is my karma, talking to you guys, enlightening you guys, giving you all of this information. Karma has nothing to do with what happened in a past life. So if I incarnate into Jason Janis again in 1970, right? Now I will be at a much higher level of consciousness, and I will know that I need to clean up past wounds that I may have overlooked or whatever. That would be the only reason that I would incarnate into this life again. But I would be at a much, much higher frequency, and I would know what I need to do. Right? I would know that I came here to, and those situations would arise, and then you would forgive them and love them and move on, healed. And then eventually you just don't incarnate anymore. You have reached enlightenment. And you will, like Jesus did, like Mary Magdalene did, and everybody else that is home that doesn't come here anymore, they've done that already. So Jesus is no different than you. None. Not at all, not one bit, except he was a much higher frequency. That's it. You don't die. Death is an illusion as well. It is simply a transition. So when you transition back home, you will meet with your overlord, which is basically a supervisor. Do you pray? Do I pray? I offer up some prayers, like to stop these wars, to stop starvation, hunger, homelessness. That is correct. There is no sin. The church created that. They kept you from your sexual energy, which is a divine gift from God. They said that sex was bad, so you're not allowed to have sex. Why? Because the church knows that it is a direct shot home. It is your God-given right. So they're keeping you from it. And their, energy can never be destroyed. So if you stop somebody's sexual energy, if you deprive them of that, that energy has to go somewhere, right? It's not just going to stay there. It's going to come out some way, somehow, and you're not going to like it. Right? Somebody's going to be mad and pissed off, maybe punch you, hit you, scream at you. That energy is going to go somewhere. It is a God-given right. All right? It is our way home. To the female vehicles in this, if you have ever been with a man that has brought you the most love, and when you've made love, not only did he take you someplace that when you were done, you just sat and cried and rolled over and grabbed his arm and wanted him to cuddle with you, and you sat there and cried and shook, right? Now, if you are one of those and you've had that experience, where were you? You can't say you were in the most blissful place ever. You were home. The ego was created when you stepped away from oneness. Remember, you wanted this, okay? All right, re-up your last question. Let's see. Can you please answer mine? Battling the self-ego sounds like Muslims' aversion, jihad. Jihad doesn't exist because there's only 5 pillars of Islam. So, that's just terrorism. There is no evil. Right. There is no hell. Judaism, right. Judaism, there is no hell. In Muslims, with the 6th pillar of jihad doesn't exist. There are only 5. And if you would have listened to Muhammad's original message, he simply stated that we are love and we are not to kill, but to love was Muhammad's original message. So we are love, okay? So live in it. That is the highest frequency. Empathy is just as high. When you live in that frequency, you raise it and you climb up that ladder very quickly, and you will, your manifestations will come true quickly, because you are creating a new world, and the world that is coming now is being created by us, but also by the children who are out there. If you ever watch a little 2 or 3-year-old play when they're holding a toy, they're deep in thought. They're creating. They are a god, and they are creating a beautiful future because it's coming, and we're out of time. So to answer your question, that was it. I mean, hopefully I did it, but I have to get back to your question. Can you answer? Yeah, so there you go. All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes. What else you got for me? Guys are beautiful. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. When I go back home, do I get to choose? You are going to incarnate into one of your lives that you still have to work on. Yeah, you still have to do those certain things that you agreed to come here. And generally, when you're coming to the last of your incarnations, you're really just tidying up everything in those lives, right? So you're just putting the last touches on forgiving and love, and then, that is over. Like right now, Jesus's crucifixion is taking place right now. Right now, he is being crucified, all right? Right now, even though it's 2024, I'm a little boy in 1970, okay? Everything that is happening in the universe is happening right now. The past does not exist. The future does not exist. That's why I say in the next incarnation, I may go back 10,000 BC into whatever I chose to come in as. So there's no chronological order here at all. So the fact that I'm in this life now means that over 5 billion years ago, when you and I and all of this were talking about this stuff, we created these lives. No, like I said, I have died over 3,200 times. So, but I've been walking this earth for, 20 to 30,000 years. Do you pray? Do you pray? If yes, in what name? That's according to the Bible. Is the Bible true? No. Does the non-physical want you to ask for help? 100%. Absolutely. Yeshua or Jesus will not come to you unless you ask for help. So specifically, say, Jesus, I need your guidance in this situation. Like I'll tell you, when I said in my manifestations he said, I need you to ask me for help. So I looked up, I said, I need your help. I need your guidance, Jesus. This is not going to be easy, and I need you. Please. There it is. That's how I ask. Now, he heard me, and he will come, and he will give me what I need. I'll wake up with it, or it'll come to me. So that's how I pray. I mean, you don't need to be sitting there on your hands and knees wailing and this and that. Talk. Have a simple conversation. Like at the end of my meditation in the mornings or in the evenings. Father, please stop these wars. Please. Please. For all those who have lost a family member, please comfort them and let them know they are loved. For all those who have lost a home and are homeless and hungry because of these wars, please fill their stomach with warm food and shelter them in warmth. And for all those suffering around the world with whatever is afflicting them, comfort them, please. I love you all. And that is my prayers. And I ask for certain guidance. I ask for certain things, and they come. Not right away, but when I need them. So that is how I pray. I don't call out or, and during the day, even at work, I am constantly thinking of love. I am living in love. How can I love? How can I love better? How can I love more deeply? Who can I love better today? You know, who can I help today? You know, and that is how I live. That is how Jesus lived. Now, he lived at a much higher frequency than me, but this is how I'm starting to get there, okay? This is how you need to get there. Everything you need is within yourself. When Jesus said, I am the truth, I am the light, and I am the way. That is what I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I am the truth, the light, and the way. I went home. I woke up for a little bit. Everything that I need is right here inside me. God gave it to me. God gave it to you because you're God, right? So everything is in here. So when Jesus said that, he wasn't saying, look at me, okay, because this is the only way that you can ever go home. That's not what he was saying. He was saying, look at me. This is my example. This is the way to do it. You go within. Everything is here. When you go within, you start to clean your mind. You start to free your mind of those untruths, of that indoctrination, of that victimization that we all went through. So Jason, what is the victimization? Any prospective parents listening to this video at any point in time, please listen to me. When your child cries, your baby, remember why they're crying. They're terrified. They are terrified. They left all that they ever knew. Their ego created the body. Now, you're all under the assumption mom and dad have sex, sperm meets egg, and body takes over. Incorrect. When the baby is created, sperm and egg meet, the ego takes over the creation of the body. Okay? Has nothing to do with anything else. Like all of you, the way you are looking right now is the way the ego wants you to look. Pure and simple. That's that. All right. So to all those moms out there, or, you know, parents that have just had kids, when that child is screaming, pick them up. Please love them. Take your shirt off. Take your bra off. Dads, take your shirt off. What do they want? They want to feel the warmth. They want to feel your energy, right? They're still being talked to from home. They're still seeing spirits. They're still seeing their guides. They're terrified. Hold them. Do not stink a bink in their mouth. Do not plop them in front of the TV. Do not, please do not, I'm imploring you. This is coming straight from the non-physical. Hold your child. Hold them. Pamper them. Get them naked. Take their diaper off. You get naked and hold them. Why? It's body on body contact. It's energy against energy. He or she is feeling your energy and love. And that is what calms that baby down. And it doesn't matter who picks it up, does it? Why? They love unconditionally. Follow the babies. They got it right. We don't. We've been indoctrinated and victimized. Do not stick that pacifier in their mouth. Do not stick them in front of the TV. Pick them up. The dishes can wait. The clothes can wait. All right? So do not do that to them. Second of all, and I really mean this, is we have all been victimized through that. We've all been told to shut up. Pacifier in the mouth, stuck in front of the TV. That's that. We're too busy. This part of the new world that's coming is that's not going to take place anymore, okay? So hold them. And what I mean by the indoctrination is, and this is going to seem so strange to all of you, but it is the truth. It's coming from them. Do not, I repeat, do not send your children to school. Their highest creative abilities is taking place between the ages of 6 and 10, when they are, I'll get to that question in a minute. Do not send them to school. We are coming to an age, a golden age of enlightenment on earth. World peace, no hunger, no homelessness, everything. Who do you think is leading us into that? These babies, these 1-year-olds, these 2-year-olds. Okay, you went through this indoctrination. You were sent to school at 4 years old, 5 years old. Some of you crying because you're terrified, right? Because this is what we set up. Okay, now you're being shamed into compliance, right? You're in your classroom, you don't agree with this, you're crying, your peers are shaming you, your teachers are shaming you, and you are being controlled and coddled into low vibrational state. Do not send your children to school. Do not. We are an intelligent enough species. We have the technology that we can educate our children at home, and you can watch them become the powerful gods that they are when this new world comes into existence. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be wiping your butt when you're shitting in your diapers and you're pissing in your diapers. Do you want somebody that loves unconditionally, or do you want somebody that's been indoctrinated with hate, anger, and violence? Do not send them to school. Do not. You have to break this indoctrination and this victimization that we all have gone through. And that is why we cannot be on this earth when the new age comes. Yes, you raise your frequency anytime you live in love. When you're aligned with your true self and you are out, even if you're at work and you're manifesting in your mind. I know it sounds crazy, but we're all in our heads all day long. When you live in love, like when I am meditating in the mornings and at night before I go to bed tonight, I will be living in love. I will be thinking of love. How can I love better? How can I love deeper? I love the people that I work with. So let's define love a little bit. Love is everything. So when I mean this, like, I love music. All right? I love music. It is my happy place. It's my safe place. And guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, you believe, let's use the females in the female vehicles in this. And you're all out there going, if I can only find the right man, all my problems would be solved. Right now, when you said that, the non-physical is screeching their hands down the chalkboard, because it is insane to say that, because you are that love. If you are looking for love to fulfill the love that should be within you, that relationship will never come. You're never going to meet that frequency, okay? So, opinion, Jason, what is the best material we can study? There are books by Tina Louise Spalding that are good. You have heard A Course in Miracles. And for all of you, I would start with the Course in Miracles. And let me see here. Okay? Right here. It's what I'm reading right now. And a lot of people say when I speak from A Course in Miracles. I never read this book. As you can see, it has never been opened. There is nothing in this book. But when I speak, people say I speak from A Course in Miracles. So I had to go out and get it. So this is what I would encourage all of you to start reading right now. Throw the Bible out. This has been dictated by Ananda and Jesus through a medium. A Course in Miracles. Here it is. All right? This was dictated by Jesus. These are his words. All right? So, you want to know what to read to reach that spirituality, to find yourself? This is it, right here. This is what I'm going to start reading within the next week or so. So, get rid of the Bible and get into what Jesus is teaching, and that is A Course in Miracles. How do I know that? I've been, not told, but encouraged to continue my spiritual journey through A Course in Miracles. So, because that's what the Bible says as well. Well, guess what? Am I at peace? I have never been at more peace in my life, ever. I know the non-physical has my back. I know I am being nurtured and coddled and loved more than you could ever possibly know. And I am exactly right where I need to be. I am changing my contract. I am fulfilling my inner guidance system. I am leaving the old world, which, I knew through working in warehouses and factory work. And now I'm in the midst of writing a book. I'm starting my businesses, and I'm going to help each and every one of you out of the pits of hell, which is basically getting out of your mind. Hell is simply a state of mind. If you choose not to live in love, then you will choose to live in darkness. And most people are afraid of the dark. Why? Because it scares the shit out of them, right? The light crushes the darkness. So I choose to live in love. I'm at peace. I love myself. And I will tell you right now, since I am God, that I love myself more than my father, because I am my father. I love myself more than I love my daughters, my children, or my grandchildren, or any of you. I love you all. But it has to start with yourself. In order to begin your spiritual journey, ladies and gentlemen, you have to start with yourself. If you do not love yourself, how can you love anybody else? How can you love your children? Well, if you want to know what it is when you meditate, all right? When you meditate, there you go. Well done. Good job. So advice to you, meditate. So in your meditation, in your mantra that you create for your personal gain, ask the non-physical what you were meant to do. Okay? And if it's a bunch of things coming into your head, slow them down one at one. And then all of a sudden you will get a warm, fuzzy feeling. You will be aligned with love. And that is your answer. Depression is an illusion. It's up here. It's in your head. You believe in depression, so therefore you have it. Right? You're a God. You are a creator. So you are creating your depression. Do you believe in depression? Like poverty. Do you believe in poverty? Well, if you were to say, Jason, look at the world right now, that's because the world believes in poverty. Those people believe in poverty. If you believe in poverty, you give that thought creative abilities. So poverty then will exist, but you're giving it to it. If you don't believe in it, like I don't believe in it, even though I'm coming out of being poor, it's because I had the wrong relationship or the wrong frequency with money. Like money is the root of all evil. Well, if money's the root of all evil, if you're wishing for money, is it going to come? No. Why? Your frequency is too low because you believe the money is the root of all evil. Well, guess what's not going to come to you? If you're saying all women are bad, can't find love, what's going to happen? You're not going to find love. Nobody's going to come to you. Let's see, according to your faith, there you go. You're the creator of your world, ladies and gentlemen. The world you see right now out in front of you, in your own home, watching this, when you look around, is your thoughts. That is where, from a little boy to now, those are your thoughts. You're living what you created. So in your head, whether you're, say you came home from a bad day at work, motherfucker, that fucking, I'm gonna. So while you're thinking that in your head, that's going into the non-physical. It's going to find all that other negative energy, right? All of that hate and anger and rage, and it's going to come back to you. So now you're saying, why does this shit keep fucking happening to me? Why? Why can't I catch a break? Get out of your head. Those are your thoughts. And that came back to you. And you didn't like it. You shouldn't have put them out there in the first place, right? These are the hard lessons that I've learned. These are the lessons that I'm asking the non-physical. And it's coming back. And the answer is simple this: love. Jesus said, I loved every moment of my life. Every situation that I was in, I chose love. And look what he was able to accomplish, ladies and gentlemen. Love is everything. It is everything. And I will give you another bit of advice that has come from the non-physical within this last couple weeks, is our sexual energy, okay? Every single one of you like to make love, have sex, be with your partner, right? Well, when you're in that moment and you're in that sexual energy, in your divinity that was given to you by God, you stop aging. Imagine that. That was new to me. I didn't know that. That was given to me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, aging is stopped when we are intimate with our partner, meaning that when we are taking our time and we are what you call foreplay, enjoying each other and having that moment of skin-on-skin contact, bodily fluids being exchanged, you stop aging. How do you prefer to live? In love Or do you prefer to watch the bombs fall and people get disintegrated and blown up and maimed? You know, I choose love. And that is why I'm here with you tonight. I choose love. I love all of you as much as I love myself. And I will do anything and everything to help free you from the bonds of your, you know, torture, which is yourself. You are creating it, right? So live in love. Live in love. So to answer your question, meditate, and in your meditation and in your mantra, ask the non-physical, where am I supposed to be? Where am I? Because I can tell you right now, my friend, you are right where you need to be. Right where you need to be. And if you're unsure of your profession or where you want to go, follow your heart. Aw, I love you very much. Thank you so much. So, love yourself. And if you can't, you have a lot of work to do. They will not do it for you, the non-physical. They will not come down here and pat you on the back and help you. This is your job. They will give you the info from up there. If you want to believe in witchcraft, I'm not going to doubt it. We all have the powers Jesus did. So that means we can heal the dead, heal the sick, raise the dead. I can create 5,000 different versions of this that look just like me right now, if I was able to. I'm not there yet, but if some people want to call that witchcraft, call it witchcraft. Jesus learned from the masters. We got 5 minutes left. Jesus learned from the masters when he traveled across North Africa into India. He learned from the masters. If you read the ancient Hindu texts and stuff, raising people from the dead is nothing new. They look at it like it's sucking on a lollipop, right? Well, Jesus, while he was there for 3 years, learned from the masters, learned how to meditate, learned where that energy was, and mastered it. And everything else from what he did, what he was able to accomplish. So we're all going to reach that point. So if people want to call that, witchcraft, they have free will. One more question. What do we got? That you can change your body by manifesting. Okay, yes. So, last August, when I got sick, right? I had that spiritual experience when I was laying here, my feet were going this way, and then I felt 2 hands reach into my stomach, wrist deep, and we're doing one of these numbers. Good minute or two. It was just one of these numbers, right? I lost the desire to eat. I mean, I'll be lucky if I put in anywhere from 500 to 800 calories a day in my body. And most people would say that's close to death. Well, look at me. And this has been happening now for coming up on a year. Do I look like I'm ready to die? I'm just generally not hungry. I can live off a handful of nuts for a couple of days, But anyways, when I manifest, when I am creating in my head what I want, what you guys don't understand is how many of you have thanked your body? Do you love your body? Any of you? I mean, I do, but this was new to me too. But how many of you love your body? You'll bitch about it. You'll say, I'm fat, this is gross, or, I'm this, or my boobs are too small, or my wee willy winky is too small. Well, have you ever thought about thanking your body? Has your body ever failed you? I've got an itch. I'm thirsty. I gotta scratch my head. Has your body done exactly what you wanted it to do whenever you wanted it to? Pretty much, yes, right? So have you thanked it? You're creating it right now. I'm creating the image that I want you all to see right now. So when I say I can change my body, say, I love you, and I will hug myself. I kiss myself all the time and say, I love you, okay? But when you do that, you're reaffirming the love that you have for yourself. So when I say, I want to lose weight, I don't want to be this heavy anymore, guess what happens? I don't eat anymore, Your body will conform. You are the creator of your world. So you are creating your body. So if you don't like it, if you want to change something, ask it. And I tell my body, you know, for 50 years, I'm sorry I abused you and neglected you and hated you and said horrible things about you. I love you. And I do. And my body has conformed, has been changing. So manifestation works, ladies and gentlemen, but you've got to put the time into it. Every day, Monday through Friday, on the weekends, I am up between 2 and 3 a.m. and I meditate. Then I'll lay back down on the couch and doze, or I'm up. But at night before I go to bed, I meditate for about half an hour, 40 minutes. I'll clear my mind. Sometimes I will sit and say nothing. Other times I'll go through my mantra. All right? All right, guys. It is time. I got some other things to do. I love you all so very much. So do me a favor, because I will watch the comments in this when people, when it goes out into my videos. So put video topics down there that you want me to talk about, all right? And I'd be more than happy to put them out there. I'm busy. I'm writing the book, rewriting my chapters. And, you know, as I started, you know, I'm beginning a very big book, A Course in Miracles. So I will be doing that in the evenings as well. So if there's something you guys want, oh, absolutely. No worries. I'll try and do it like every 2 weeks. So next week I'll put out a regular video, and then, you know, this gives me a chance to be real with you guys so you can see me as is and not just in a video. All right. So put your comments down there, what you want me to talk about next, and I will get that video out. I'll start it probably on Saturday, next Saturday, and get it out so you guys can have it. But I love you all so very much. I do this because I want you to see the love and light of who you are. You are God. You are immensely powerful and love, and you know everything there is to know. You've just forgotten who you are, and I'm here to wake you up to the fact that you are a God, a powerful God. Yeah, absolutely. Generally, when I do my live videos, I'll do it on like a Monday night and I'll post it. And then that way you guys will have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll have 4 days to know that, you know, you'll see the announcement in my, you know, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see it come up that, you know, there's an upcoming live event coming up. So, yeah, no worries. You'll get that. All right, guys. Again, I'm here because I love you. I am simply a teacher now, and that is my guidance system. I have followed it. It has led me here, and I am climbing to where I need to be, and I'm right where I need to be. You are all right where you need to be. Finding me was not a coincidence. It was meant to happen and supposed to happen, and all of you that are still here are a part of that. So I'm here to wake you up. Throw the Bible out. Get rid of it. All right? And read that book, A Course in Miracles, and you will start to understand, and you will see Jesus's words, all right? And you will see what he is talking about. And we will be climbing up that ladder together, all right? I love you all so very much. Thank you for coming tonight, and put your comments and video topics down there, and I will see you all soon. All my love to all of you. I love you. Good night, guys.